Welcome to my channel. Tinubu is clearly out there to give the North a taste of their own bitter pill. Just in case you've not heard, today El-Rufai had an ADC meeting in Kaduna, and indeed, hoodlums, it was reported that these hoodlums are state sponsored. However, these hoodlums went into that place where the meeting was being held and they were beating up the people there. They were beating up there. They were telling them that nothing like El-Rufai pushing an agenda against the government of the day. You know, when we say that the law of karma, now it seems the law of karma does not take many years, because what is going on in El-Rufai is just in less than 2 years. And all of a sudden, all the forces he used against his political adversaries, those that were against anything that has to do with extremism, while he was in power, today are suddenly being used against him as a person. We all know that El-Rufai, first and foremost, is being disliked by so many in this country. For as long as you're a religious liberal, the Middle Beltans down to the Southeast and South mostly do not like him. They keep calling out El-Rufai as a religious bigot. So many people say that it was El-Rufai that encouraged so many cleansings of Christians in southern Kaduna. And what we have is, it is some hoodlums from that area of Kaduna today that had been set up by the government. Okay, when I mean the government, I mean APC. To what? To silence, to cripple whatever power it thinks it has. Now, some of you might not recall what El-Rufai did under the government of Jonathan. While El-Rufai was out there charging up the polity, he was one of the loudest voice. He was an activist, very aggressive one for that matter, under when Jonathan was there. They propagated some vitriol campaigns, all right, pushing for aggressive voters. In fact, they wanted to ensure that the government of Jonathan was crippled. And in fact, I must say, they did indeed crippled Jonathan's government. The same thing they want to bring on board. You will remember El-Rufai started saying that the government of the day have brought in tout, and they want to sort of chase them away in the by-elections. And at the end of the day, though we didn't see any form of violence in the by-election that happened in Kaduna, however, this is how they keep propagating, charging up the polity, put fear into people. However, Tinubu has read them, he has seen it, he has said, you guys cannot play with me. I am not Jonathan. I will not be silenced while you guys are plotting all manners of coup, all manners of propaganda and whatnot against me, because Tinubu was a part of them in 2013, 2014. He has understood how they derail government, how they bring people down. El-Rufai, if he had gotten a ministerial slot, El-Rufai wouldn't have been doing what he's doing today. I can guarantee you, he wouldn't have been doing it. Because while El-Rufai was a part of Obasanjo government, all right, for some people that might think El-Rufai is not corrupt, for some people that feel El-Rufai will abstain for corrupt leaders, El-Rufai wouldn't tell us that he wasn't aware of the corruption that was going on in the regime of Obasanjo. How come El-Rufai never resigned to show how clean and how much of a man with integrity he is? But he played along with Obasanjo. He was the FC minister for 8 years. In fact, he had so many designations beyond FC minister. He said it, that in fact he had to handle some slot in trades and commerce. All right, so the point is, yes, El-Rufai is an intellectual. Agreed. El-Rufai is a good administrator. Agreed. All right, but for every effort they are putting in, If it is not, to install another southern president, say for instance a Peter Obi, then all their exercise will be in futility. That's it. It will be an exile that will lead to nothing but total failure. Because on the timeline, on the comment section, so many people are saying that Tinubu should continue to deal with the North. That's what the reactions of the people. And these people are not Yorubas. I can see names like Chukwueze. I can see names like Akpan. And I can see names like Bamidele. These are all Southerners. I can see some names like Yang, Middle Belters. So El-Rufai is one person that so many people want him crippled, because we all know that by 2031 El-Rufai will become a very powerful force in the north, because he, of course, he wants to become the president in the near future. And the deal is, so many people are scared of him, so many people do not trust him, so many people have seen how his sons came out the last time to wish people death, simply because they said that all Fulani elders will be dealt with. And he went out and he responded, that person who is a southern Kaduna indigent, he said, for as long as you people are disturbing and arresting and buying southern Kaduna, you people will not know peace. He's son of a governor. He's issuing such a word. And to this very day, he is unremorseful about it, unapologetic about that statement. So you see why the issue that they beat up him and his heads, wherever they are in that meeting, why so many people are welcoming it. For me, I know that it is karma that is working. You cannot think that as at 10 years ago, you did evil to bring down the government of a working governor, working president, and then the people that you did it with now will watch you to use that same tactics to bring them down. It's not going to happen. There is absolutely nothing the North will try to do now that Tinubu has not taken a note of. Is it religious campaign? Yeah? Is it ethnic campaign? What do they want? Is it money? They cannot say they want to start telling all the Omars, the Afars, that they should start running campaign against Tinubu. Tinubu will tell the southern imams that they too to start their own campaign. They cannot say they want to start ethnic profiling and ethnic baiting. Tinubu will tell the Yoruba Ronus, the Yoruba conservatives, to also start their own. They will start the southern agenda narrative. So the North has actually met their match, and this is why you see them, they are running elter skelter, so confused, so unhappy, they are so bitter, they don't even know where to go. A bone they cannot swallow and they cannot equally vomit is what Tinubu is in their throat. Like, they don't know how to get him out. So pissed. You think if it was another person that was there, another southern person that was there, you think El-Rufai would not have led a protest? I mean, we know how, we all know how aggressive and this thing, corrosive El-Rufai can get in politics. We know. He would have led a protest. But today, El-Rufai has been demystified. Ubasani in Kaduna has queued behind Tinubu. You know what Tinubu did? Tinubu don't use all of them. He don't threaten all of them. Pata pata. You, if you misbehave, forget your seat. You, if you misbehave, I go replace you. So these things are what Tinubu have set in, and the governors are feeding fat. And now, nobody go to chop sugar, we go on come out in mouths now. So most of those governors are ready to betray their northern leaders and just say, Tinubu, like Moko allow her do 4 years. You see the northern governor today that is against Tinubu is simply because he has probably, completed his 8 years. But no northern governor, I repeat, no northern governor dares Tinubu as it stands today, and he wants to, go again in 2027. Nobody, I repeat, nobody. The governor of Kano State, Abba Gida Gida, who is a direct, selection, someone that was nominated by Kwankwaso, he will not even dare to speak against Tinubu. All the governors that are speaking against Tinubu today, all of them have spent their two tenors. So if you go to Bayelsa, if you go to Sheyi Makinde, if you go to all these the Bauchi governor, all of them, they don't spend 8 years. That is why you can see that they are trying to just speak a little, just speak a little. No, otherwise none of them can speak. You can see Fubara. Fubara literally has been converted to a lame dog. Fubara cannot say anything. When Wike has captured him, today we saw what happened in Rivers. We know the party that is winning. We know the party that will emerge. We know the party that will clear all the elections. Initially, Fubara conducted an election last year. All of a sudden, Tinubu declared a state of emergency, and then they sacked all those people that were elected. Just imagine, you can see the you go to play with Tinubu in this dirty Nigerian politics. Tinubu is not ready to follow you to play politics of morality. No. He's a dirty one, a clear dirty one. And that was why I said earlier that the opposition cannot continue to play politics of gentility. But opposition will fail if they do not do the right thing by supporting a southern candidate. And of course, it has to be a southern candidate that is brave, bold, and what will protect the interests of the South. Otherwise, they shall allow Tinubu. It's as simple as that. They should allow him. Because there's no point that the North will support a southern candidate, and that southern candidate will now end up being another Jonathan. He will be building roads, building elementary schools, giving them all the CCR, which is the cash, conditional cash transfer and all that, while the North will be starving. No. After all, we've seen that Tinubu came about 2 or 3 times trying to do things that will restructure the resource to the South, the tax, the VAT, but the North, of course, once again went against it and they won. So we know the issue. It is as clear as night and day. Tinubu now has gone into collaboration with Mossad, Israel. They have arrested a Palestine leader who have been working with some people who are sponsoring terrorism. We have seen Bello Turiji begging that he wants to drop his gun, he's no more fighting. We have seen Ado Alero, that one don't even give up because his wife and his mom were arrested in Saudi. We saw Shegumi now, who is now crying. Shegumi now is now like a featherless chicken, a naked chicken. Okay, a naked chicken, and even a mosquito will bite that chicken. That is who Shegumi is now. Shegumi, who was an hero. Shegumi was a hero under Buhari. Don't forget. And what was his job? Shegumi was the one going into the bush, carry cash, give it to bandits, collect people. So Shegumi expected that to continue under Tinubu, because Tinubu said, what kind of rubbish is that? We cannot be bargaining with you. We cannot be bargaining with you. It's either you speak against terrorism or you are being dealt with decisively. And ever since, what is called, Shegumi has been silent. But yes, when Tinubu was about to go into collaboration, Tinubu came out again, started crying. Wow, Tinubu wants to kill us, so all the Muslim leaders will be dealt with. Anybody that begins to preach, Islamic radicalism will be dealt. I mean, why are you supposed to be doing that? So we can see that the North are being served a bitter taste of their own medicine. And it is indeed an interesting time to be alive in Nigeria. If you're just joining us, please kindly like, subscribe, and share. Bye for now. Welcome back to my channel. And yes, Wike has told us that Tinubu will not lose the 2027 election. I mean, look at what is going on in River State. Today they are having their Lagos local government election, and hello, Beavers wasn't used. In that local government election, I have not seen the ADC party come out to cry. Okay? Neither have I seen the PDP nor any northern politician to say that why are they conducting local government election without Beavers? That will this be the predicament of the opposition in 2027? I understand so many of you will tell me perhaps I'm saying nonsense, but listen, guys, Tinubu will not be defeated if you guys are not ready to go for blood for blood. I mean, if you are not ready to go like rascals on the street, let's forget it. And the only time Anikube was defeated in Nigeria was when Tinubu was still in the opposition. He carried out, he played the opposition role perfectly well by radicalizing the people, by incentivizing the people, by monetizing protests. Yes, Tinubu is not the first guy that would do that. In fact, in the US, just 6 months or just at the early stage of Donald Trump, in the first month, when they brought the Doge agency, the Department of Government Efficiency, whatever, where they were saying cutting costs, cutting wastefulness, the Democrats, Bernie Sanders, actually sponsored a lot of protests in DC. We saw how they burned so many Elon Musk cars, how they dealt with American institutes. I mean, a lot of millions of people. We saw how Elon Musk had to forcefully, you know, and shamefully retire from that position. We also saw how Donald Trump had to reverse some policies, to step down on some policies. So, this opposition that I'm seeing as spineless for me. It's unfortunate that sometimes I ask myself that as much as I want to see Obi there, with the level of gentility that he shows, I don't think there's hope for him against Tinubu. I don't think he has that charisma to actually face him. Unless, of course, he change. Because the Nigerian people will not take the discretion to go out there and fight. They will not. The Nigerian people are comfortable. The Nigerian people are not suffering. Yes. Because there's actually nothing like suffering and smiling. You cannot be hungry, and not scream out that I'm starved. It's not possible. You cannot be hungry and not speak up. It's virtually impossible. So, while the oppositions are not ready to rile up the people, while they believe perhaps God will come from the heavens to fight their cause, it's just a clear indication that Tinubu will win because Baba know the rest too. Telling you, Tinubu is not taking a chill pill. It's not. Tinubu is actually out there on a daily basis, right? Doing everything through every means to ensure the Nigerian people like it. Yeah. And he's actually getting that. I am shocked when I enter the street of Lagos, Ogun State, the way people will tell me that Tinubu is working. I look at it and I say, wow. Really? So, what